We've got a great Sunday night football matchup here in Week 3 as the Pittsburgh Steelers fly to Las Vegas to play Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders. These teams played late in the season last year with a huge playoff implications, and it was a great game, great back and forth. Kenny Pickett and the Steelers barely ended up winning the game. And so coming to this week, I know Brand honestly new Raiders team for the most part. I know there's a couple key guys are still there, like Vontae Adams, Max Crosby, who are going to want to take revenge. But I want to start off with the Raiders here because one of the things, honestly, for me looking at this is just who is going to be able to be on the field for the team. Just as of today, we're recording this now. Chandler Jones, Chandler Jones is his name. Yes, Chandler Jones is on the NFI list for unknown reasons. He is not with the team right now. Definitely going to be questionable if he is going to be able to play in Week 3, if that's not already determined that he's not even playing in Week 3. I'm not sure if there is a mandatory week of games that you have to miss if you get put on the NFI list. Also, too, Jacoby Myers missed Week 2 because of a gnarly concussion. That is definitely going to be something to monitor. I saw he was practicing this week. Also, Devontae Adams as well took a major hit. It looks like he avoided the concussion protocol in that, but I just have to monitor his status. It seems like he's going to be playing. There's just a lot of question marks overall about some key players for the Las Vegas Raiders here. And with them coming off of just a very tough loss against Buffalo, really struggled to compete, especially in the second half of the game, got blown out. What do you think the Raiders have to do to get revenge against the Steelers and come away with a victory here on Sunday night?
So for me, I think they have to come out, be consistent in the run game. I don't even think that they really need to be successful, like very successful in the run game, but just constantly keep it in the Steelers' mind that like, hey, we can run the football and we're more than okay taking 2 or 3 yards every single time. Because to me, from there, you can build off that. Josh McDaniels loves to do hard play action and then push the ball down the field to his receivers, especially Devontae Adams. So for me, I think that is the big thing that they have to do is establish the run game. Also, limit the big plays. One of the things I thought was interesting is the Steelers' offense has actually really struggled this year. They had the one big play against the Browns on Monday Night Football, and then that was really all that they were able to do on offense. And granted, I think the Browns' defense is much better than the Raiders right now. But in Week 1, the Steelers' offense struggled as well. I forget who but that was the 49ers as well, who probably have the best defense in football. So
no, the Raiders play the Broncos.
No.
You said the Steelers.
The Steelers.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Well, the Raiders did also play the Broncos.
Yeah. The Steelers played the 49ers in Week 1. And so those are two tough defenses, but their offense really has not been able to do very much. And so outside of that big play to George Pickens, it's been mostly field goals. Then they scored 2 defensive touchdowns. And for me, I think if the Raiders are going to, or if the Steelers are going to win this game, they need to get after Jimmy Garoppolo and force him to make some irrational decisions and then kind of do what they did with Deshaun Watson. So I think this is going to be a really close game. I expect it to be decided by less than a touchdown. And so yeah, what do you think that the Raiders have to do to kind of come out and win this game?
Yeah, well, I will say also on top of that as well, we talked about the Steelers struggling to score. I also feel, especially against these past 2 games, the Raiders have just struggled to score as well. It is essentially just new personnel on the offense. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs just coming back, didn't have any preseason. Devontae Adams, outside of like offensive line members that I might not be remembering off the top of my head, because I'm sure there are, is the main offensive member that I remember coming back from last season. Yeah. Hunter Renfrow still is on the team, but he missed a lot of last season. And I just say that because it's still it's a new system for a lot of players, everyone trying to get on the same page in this Josh McDaniels offense. I think that is also going to have a major effect because they're going up against the Steelers defense, which is just lights out. They're the only reason, as you said, they're the only reason that the Steelers won Week 2, 2 defensive touchdowns, because other than that, this offense hasn't really done much. So the Steelers offense is missing Deontay Johnson. They are also missing Cameron Hayward as well on the defensive line. So that is a big loss. I want to double check here.
Minkah Fitzpatrick and DeMonte Casey are questionable. I believe with concussions,
Minka Fitzpatrick did leave the game on Monday night,
Yeah.
which is kind of big because then that's going to be pushing his test by date 1 day back as well. So his status is definitely up in the air. So
Yeah.
those are going to be storylines to watch as we record here on Wednesday night and follow the injury report as well. That all being said, though, my predictions, I still just don't trust the Raiders team overall. I still think there's a lot of things that they're needing to figure out. And I think that the more that this offense can play together, there were sparks where Kenny Pickett and George Pickens were connecting a lot. And Pat Freiermuth is still in the mix. And I think the combination of Jalen Warren and Najee Harris is a great duo. The biggest issue for them is just going to be can this offensive line hold? And I think they will be able to do that. I mean, Max Crosby causes a lot of issues for everybody. But in general, I believe that they're going to be able to do that, especially now with Chandler Jones not being there. Bilal Nichols looks like he is status is up in the air for this Sunday as well. So this defensive line is going to be weaker outside of Max Crosby. I think the Steelers are going to be able to win this one on the road on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers as well. For me, I just think the significance of injuries that the Raiders are having right now, and then also coupled with this offense not really having even the offseason to play together, and they're still kind of figuring things out that way. I just think the Steelers, this is the first time they're going to be going into a game not playing a top 5 defense in the NFL. And so I think this offense will look a lot better against a mediocre defense. So
yeah.
That for me is kind of going to be the deciding factor there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Is it going to be the Las Vegas Raiders or the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let us know what you think. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.